All right, guys, look like we're live. I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here. See if anyone has any chart requests right off the bat. That way I can go through them at the beginning and go over the overall market, market conditions. All right, let me check something real quick here. All right, looks like we got some people in here. Drop down in the comments if you guys want me to go over any charts. That way I can see it as the video goes on and go over those charts. NVIDIA, when I get a chance. All right, yeah, that's the one that I was definitely gonna go over for earnings. All right, let's go over that. I like NVIDIA there. Let's just type it over here. NVDA. All right, guys. So for NVIDIA, what I'm seeing right off the bat is that we're on a daily uptrend, right? Still maintaining these daily higher highs. So had a higher high and another higher high and then higher lows still. So this level right here, 236, that's going to be super important. If that breaks, then we'll be breaking the daily uptrend. All right. Let's see on the weekly, this still looks good. The retracement here has been 61%, right? Topped out right there at the 618. All right, so that's good. That favors continuation. So what we also might see here is, since it's pretty close to that daily level, 236, we might see like a weekly higher low compared to this one down here, right? So I could see that happening as well. But that's gonna depend on earnings, since earnings is on Wednesday after the close. All right, but as of right now, we're holding the daily. I'm guessing the hourly got lost at some point, but look at here. We're setting like a inverse head and shoulder on the hourly, right? So here's that level from the daily. It actually got broken, but no follow through. After, was it after hours or pre-market? Today it actually got broken, 236, but no follow through, and then now we're doing this inverse head and shoulders, right? Inverse head and shoulders. So what we're looking for tomorrow is some bullish action here to go along with the market. We're on a 1 hour uptrend. We're trying to confirm the 1 hour uptrend, right? So we going something like this and trying to confirm over this level here, which is like 248. All right, so we're trying to confirm this hourly uptrend tomorrow. Let's look at the 5 minute. Did draw some lines here, so we are on a 5 minute uptrend. Technically, it broke here, but then still going up. So we're on a 5 minute uptrend. We need to hold 241 tomorrow and get over 243. So 243, that would be my trigger for calls if you're not already in, right? 243, and that should be a good move to the upside, and then or under 241, you might consider some puts. And then this is probably an hourly level here, 248, right? That's the one I talked about earlier. So 5 minute, we need to break up here and then continue this 1 hour uptrend, right? So low down here at 232 and then 236 and then confirm that hourly uptrend. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow on NVIDIA. All right. So let's look at the overall semiconductors. 270 for 311 times 5. So you got calls. I'm guessing calls 270. All right, I'll go back and see what I could tell you about that. One day. So this is the semiconductor ETF. As you can see here, this one broke the daily uptrend. Okay. So the overall ETF is less bullish than Nvidia's because Nvidia is still holding around here, right? It broke like a little bit like here, and then it's still up here somewhere. So in terms of that, Nvidia is a little more bullish than the overall semiconductor space. So this has lost the daily, and now we're looking for a weekly higher low to form. All right, so let's take some of this. It's a little busy. All right, so if I look at this semiconductor from the top to the low, 618. So 60% retracement. This favors this chart doing something like this on the weekly and then trying to bounce from there. Or also what could happen here is that we bounce and then don't make it all the way up and kind of tighten up until for the month or something. All right, so that's what I'm looking at for semiconductors. I think AMD has this same pattern. So AMD is a little more weak than NVIDIA, and that makes sense with the earnings coming up. More people tend to buy NVIDIA, I would say. All right, let's go back. NVIDIA, you got 270 calls so you're kind of far out. Yeah, it's all gonna depend on earnings. 270 is a good level. That's this pretty much you bought this next resistance. So if we can make it up there, you gotta watch out for that rejection there because this is a pretty big pullback here, right? So you see how this one here just did a little pullback here and then continued up, and this one like almost it pretty much went all the way, and now it's gonna bounce and probably reject there. Yeah, so this favors like a rejection from this level, unless earnings is really good, in which case it probably still favors a rejection, to be honest. So I would probably be looking to sell at 270, in my opinion. All right, so let's go to QQQ. All right, so this is got the same pattern as the semiconductor ETF that I showed you guys. And the main thing that I'm watching here is the weekly chart. All right, the weekly chart is weaker than the semiconductors. This one is only 50% retracement at this 270-ish level. All right, and we rejected hard off of the CPI numbers. So what I'm looking for here, most likely scenario is that we just stay kind of in a tightening range. Hopefully we can bounce here tomorrow. and then it's probably not going to get all the way up, you know, tightening tightening up, I would say. And then we got all of this Ukraine news, and the Fed thing, and the like least likely scenario in my opinion, but it still can happen, is that we break down through that low. Let me remove this here. Break down through that low, and then probably the second likely scenario here is that we bounce into uh, higher highs. All right, but I'm thinking this is probably going to tighten up for a while and then be choppy as long as we have all of this news. You know, it's kind of weird how all of this, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, all of this news comes right when we're like at resistance. It's kind of hilarious. Um, so for example, here we were at a resistance when the CPI numbers, I think this is the last video I made. We were at a resistance, right? This one up here, I think, on the 1 hour. And then we got the CPI numbers and we just dumped. That's kind of funny. And then again, we kind of bounced off this level. And then we got like some Russian news on Friday or something. So we were pretty close to resistance and we just dumped from there. Um, and SPY was even more. It was like right at the resistance up here, and then we dumped. So it's kind of funny how um, it just so happens to be that we always get news right when we're close to resistance. So I think that's on SPY you can see it better. All right, see we were right at resistance, and then we just like rolled over, right? There's a resistance from over here. If I draw this over here somewhere, pretty much the same resistance there, and we just fell over. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm looking for QQQ and SPY. Uh, and even before that, we can zoom in. So we're on a 1 hour downtrend, or we were, I guess. So 1 hour, let's see. So it's kind of choppy, to be honest. Right, we had previously drew like this level down here. We broke up into this level, and then now we're under that top section, right? So that was your clear cut right here, 252. That's where you should have bought puts that day, and even up here on this double top kind of thing. And right now what we're trying to do is set a weekly lower high, just like I mentioned on the semiconductors, right? Weekly lower high. So we're hoping this could be it and continue upward. All right, but I'm looking for a tightening range here, probably. Most probable scenario. All right, something along those lines. All right, we're probably gonna chop between 270 and 234. All right, so let's zoom in where we are today. All right, guys, sorry I didn't really prepare for the video, but kind of freestyling it off of what I know. All right, so we're on a 1 hour downtrend, as you can see here. 1 hour downtrend that is being broken here, right? So down here, 1 hour, we had a 1 hour higher low, and now we're trying to confirm a 1 hour trend change. So to confirm that, we need to get over 251. All right, guys, tomorrow over 251, that'll be key for continuation, so that we can get that weekly higher low. And let's see the 5-minute. Let's see if we're on a 5-minute uptrend. So the way I do things is first we need to get the 5-minute going, 5-minute uptrend, as you can see here. Once that 5 minute is lost, right? At this point, it was lost here. Then we zoom out to the next time frame, which is usually for me the 1 hour. We found the 1 hour higher low compared to this one, and now we're on a 1 hour uptrend. So all you're looking for here is tomorrow this 1 hour to continue up above 250, pretty much is what I'm looking for tomorrow. All right, and then SPY is probably gonna look about the same. So keep that on your notes, 1 hour. We can pull back all the way down over here. So I think this one should continue, right? It should continue tomorrow. But if it doesn't, then we're getting like a 1 hour chop down here. All right, SPY, probably same thing. Chart Tesla, let's look at Tesla, double tap on SPY. All right, let's look at SPY. Yeah, so that's the double top that I was talking about. We got the Russia, Ukraine news right there, or what was it, the Fed? I don't even know anymore. And it just dumped. So we're on a 1 hour downtrend. And then see SPY is a little weird here. See, it's not the same as so this is weaker than QQQ in my opinion, because so you saw how the QQQ chart had the like inverse head and shoulder. This one does not. So this has more work to do than QQQ. So this has like did this and I was doing this. It needs to like come down and create another low there and get up. So SPY is actually looking a little weaker than QQQ in my opinion. All right, but it's overall similar, but a little weaker than QQQ. So I would say QQQ looks a little stronger, whereas SPY has been looking stronger in the past. Like over here, you saw how it got to the double top, and QQQ only got like up to this level. So it was a little weaker back then, but now it's looking like QQQ is taking the lead and being a little more bullish than SPY. All right, everyone wants to look at Tesla. So on the last video that I made, which was a while ago, what was I looking at here? I was looking up at this level 248. There was a resistance there, and I was pretty much looking at this pattern right here, this triangle pattern, and it broke with the CPI numbers or Russia stuff, and we pretty much flushed down to this 850 level, and which isn't necessarily too bearish, um, and I'll explain right now why. So I think a couple of weeks ago I was kind of looking for this head and shoulders to happen, but it didn't until until this week. So we've got our shoulder there, the head, and then the other shoulder here, and then this purple line, which I'll probably change to a different color. Let's see. I could do like pink or something. Uh, that's the neckline. So that's where we have to get over tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. At some point, if this inverse head and shoulder is to confirm, right? Get over that, and that could create a good move to the upside. So let's look at the weekly. So the weekly is looking kind of the same as QQQ a little bit, but a little more consolidation. So we're looking for this weekly to be that 850 level, has to hold. Doesn't have to hold, but would be ideal for it to hold, and then we can continue up from there on the weekly. So we're looking for a weekly lower high compared to this like 800 level. All right, so let's zoom into the 1 hour on this one. So we're looking for a weekly trend change, and we've got a 1 hour. So you see here today, it rejected from this 890 level. There was news today, right? So see how the news always comes at it like the exactly perfect time. It's kind of weird. Um, so we've got this inverse head and shoulder on this as well. And tomorrow we're looking to confirm the 1 hour uptrend. So keep an eye on that. See if we can get over 890 tomorrow. Um, that would be good for continuation. So for Tesla, I'm looking at the 1 hour. Every time I trade a name, when I'm focused on a name, I try to trade, like open up two charts next to each other and put one on the whatever time frame I'm looking at. So right here, I would have it on the 5 minute, right? You see how the 5 minute is holding up, right? It's creating these higher lows all the way up. And hopefully this can continue tomorrow to the upside because we're looking for a 1 hour. If this fails, then it's just going to be choppy again because we're looking for a 1 hour, um, 1 hour higher high. So higher high compared to this one. So it needs to get all the way up here. Uh, unless if that doesn't happen, then we're just going to see chop. Uh, so that won't be good. So if this fails and then like starts coming down here and doing something weird, then that's no good, right? Because we're on the 5 minute and the 1 hour needs to get, so this next move needs to get all the way up here. Otherwise, it's just gonna chop. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. All right, so tomorrow on this one, pretty simple. Try to get over this resistance, 878, and it can't lose the 5 minute tomorrow. All right, otherwise that's gonna be bearish. I mean, not bearish, gonna be like a choppy kind of thing. So can't lose 869. All right. So tomorrow I'm looking for this to hold in the pre-market and then move up towards that 890. All right, guys. That's what I can tell you about that one. Let's go over some earnings. Earnings plays. Roblox. Let's go over Roblox. I've been watching that one for a while. I've been bearish for the most part, and right now it's looking like it might go up, right? It's doing the same thing kind of as Tesla. Hold on, I might be lying on that. So let's go back to the 1 day 1 day chart. So 1 day chart kind of looks like a bear flag there. Um, kind of a little bit. All right, but I'm not looking to play earnings really unless I have some really, like outstanding profits day trading. But what I'm looking at is basically this little triangle pattern. So we're on a 1 day uptrend and we're trying to get back the hourly, right? So we're on a hourly downtrend and now we're trying to make a higher low and hopefully higher high over this level here. But who knows if this will break tomorrow either way. So pretty much your levels for this gonna be 6 67.29 and 71.81. That's what we need to get over tomorrow to break out of this little tightening range that we've got going on. And let's see if I can see anything on the 5-minute. So the 5-minute needs to get over 69.34, 69.30 for continuation. All right, but this is probably going to stay in this range in the morning, and then it'll break later on in the day. And you can't lose this 67 level. All right, so you got two levels there, 68.20, and it can't break this 67.29 for sure. And then to the upside, 69.29. And where's the other one? 71. 71 would be super bullish if it can get over that convincingly with volume. So that's what I'm looking for on Roblox. I think this one continues up as well if the market is favorable and we don't get any news. So I'm looking for this one to continue up over the 69.29 level. All right, if the market's, keeping up, no news, no bad news. Let's see, let's look at, you guys got any other names we can look at? If not, I'll go to Moderna. So this one had news that the CEO unloaded shares and some other insider people unloaded shares, and this one went down today. So this one was like on my main watch list for today, just because. So we had this daily, let's see, delete this, daily uptrend that was trying to confirm here. So this is kind of what I'm talking about on the other charts, right? We've got a downtrend that's trying to turn things around and trying to get over this last resistance, and then it just fails, right? So if we zoom into this, you'll see that the hourly failed at some point. So we're on trying to get a daily continuation, and pretty much this hourly needs to continue, and you can see here that it double topped, right? So that's what I'm kind of talking about on those other charts where I say like the hourly needs to continue, right? So hourly didn't continue here. You see how this, here's one thing to note for like other charts that when you see this, so here's the last low, and then this pulls back way too much here, right? It's back to that support. So the next time it goes up, you can anticipate shorting this, right? Based on that last low that went too low, right? So pretty much on this one, level to watch was here today. Pretty easy. If it went under 158 with some volume, and you can see the volume definitely poured in. I think it poured in on pre-market. Let's see. No, it didn't pour in on pre-market. So right at the open, it tried to get back over that resistance and down it went. So that one was pretty easy to catch today. And now it's just grinding sideways. And this one is still bearish to me. So if it were to cross even this level, so right now 5-minute is just choppy. Probably looking at the 1 hour. So the 1 hour needs to get over 143. So if it were to come up here and reject, that would be definitely where I would be looking for puts and try to get a break down through this level. And this level down here is super important because this one's the daily, this is the weekly, actually weekly. So this one's already like for example, QQQ is trying to hold that weekly low. This one's already at the um, last low there. So I can guarantee you that a lot of people are looking at this and saying um, either short there, maybe if it goes over, take a little loss. And if this pullback is already too much, how I explained it a little bit ago, if it gets up here to 177, there's going to be all kinds of sellers there waiting for this one. So if it were to manage, this one's definitely super bearish. If it manages to get up to 177 somehow, it'll be super super bear. I would go in and puts on that. Most likely, unless there's some kind of news that they, I don't know, got some new vaccine or something. But I guarantee sellers are going to be waiting here and then tomorrow right here. So we'll see what happens with this one. If it breaks 138, that's going to be super bearish for this one. All right, so let's look at another thing that's always important when a stock's beat up is the RSI. So RSI is beat up on this one a little bit. Pretty much all the time frames are going to be around 30. So we'll see what happens with this little kind of a bear flag pattern. If this can break, then we'll be looking to make some money on puts under 138 for Moderna. All right, so let's look at some of these names. Let's look at let's look at Airbnb, and then we'll look at Shopify. Shopify's on Wednesday before the open. Airbnb. All right, so let me zoom out on this one. I've actually never looked at this chart recently. So this is pretty new chart. All right, so we've got a support here at 129. We've got our biggest resistance here, and here. Overall, all right, so what does this look like, guys? Right away, you can see that this looks like a huge tightening range, right? Ever since it started, right? So this is most likely gonna do something like that overall. 2022 probably. All right, so let's look at the daily, see if that tells us anything different. So daily downtrend, and then we're pretty much changing it here. Changing the daily to a daily uptrend, right? So change it to a daily uptrend, and this hasn't consolidated in a while. There's a gap, so maybe we can do a trade off of that. All right, so there's a gap there. Looks like there might be a double top. Double top there. All right, double top on the 1 hour. So that's a resistance. This one's a support. All right, so we broke through that. So we're on an hourly downtrend. Hourly downtrend, right? And what we can do tomorrow, that was our top there, is play off of this level 171. If 171 is gonna reject tomorrow, we can definitely buy some puts at that level. All right, so So keep an eye on the pre-market. If this were to, it's building this 5 minute uptrend, 5 minute uptrend. All right. If this were to get up here and reject and break the 5 minute uptrend, so like let's say it gets up in the pre-market. So we've got this low here. Sorry. We've got this low down here. Creates another low in the pre-market, and then during the trading hours it breaks the last low and it rejects here, then that's a signal for puts. I would say maybe 170, around this 170 level, we can buy some puts because this is on a 1 hour downtrend. 1 hour downtrend, and if it fails here, anywhere in this range, pretty much, this one's good for some puts from what I'm seeing. All right, and then let's see, the earnings is after the close, so maybe just for a day trade. I don't really know any history of, I don't have any history on the earnings to be honest, so can't really tell you guys anything there, but this one's looking good for puts. If it can stay under 171, let's look at some earnings history. Big beat, another big beat. Uh, mm, yeah, so it's kind of mixed, but I'm guessing the earnings is going to be, kind of weak since they're, accounting for all the COVID. And I don't know, it could definitely beat, but if it breaks that 1 hour, I'm looking for puts. There's this gap to fill. So first green flag for puts is double top and then maybe another double top, and then it can come down under this 165 level and fill down to 162. So that would be a good play for puts potentially. Airbnb. Otherwise, if it breaks above this convincingly, then it's just chop. Uh, right, it'll just chop around this range. But I think puts is could print on this one. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Puts for sure. Favoring puts on this one. All right, let's look at shop. I think shop's been running up pretty good. So let's see the 1 day chart. So this looks pretty weak. Right off the bat, we had this long-term trend up, a couple bear flags along the way right there, and then it looks like we're kind of forming another big one. And we're at support. We're at support from back here, 847 or 840, and then there's 700. So that's it's a pretty steep fall to go there. But let's see, we're on a zoom into this a little more. So earnings is pretty much gonna make or break this one. We're on this bear flag, but lately I've been seeing that a lot of these bear flags, at least on the smaller time frames, they've been like confirming, not confirming, and going to the upside. So this doesn't actually mean much on its own until you get that bear volume. See how the volume's decreasing here on the daily? We need this. If this is gonna break, it needs way more volume, right? Like back here. So what I'm seeing here, daily uptrend. So this kind of just chop, right? So has a daily uptrend, but then it's not really lost because it's still holding the higher highs on the daily. All right, so for this one, I'm just thinking it's just gonna stay in this bear flag until earnings. Pretty boring there, but this could make for some good trades. In the meantime, I'm seeing it's holding this level down here, 840. Might be a good spot for calls. Let's see, 5 minute. Gotta keep switching this. All right, 5 minute looks a little choppy as well. Yeah, this looks really choppy, guys. Can't give you a really clear direction on this other than this line here is holding. That's about it. All right, pretty much something like this. So pretty much this is holding. This little uptrend is holding and we're at the bottom of it. So that favors buying some calls down here unless there's some big volume coming in. In that case, it'll start going down if the volume starts picking up, bearish volume. But I think this will probably go up tomorrow, uh, just based on its holding this trend line here. So that's all I can tell you guys for this one. I don't really trade this one too much, uh, or at all actually. Just chopping around here, trying to stay in this range. And earnings is probably gonna break this down or to the upside for sure. All right, guys. So I think that might be it for today. I don't really have anything else. What else is on this list? No, that's about it that I'm really interested in. So Nvidia, looking for that to continue to the upside. What else did I go over? Tesla, also hoping that goes up to the upside as well. But overall, seeing a lot of chop in the market, and these news are kind of playing to that everyone's like emotions, right? So be careful out there whenever a stock is at resistance. Definitely sell, like this Tesla resistance, huge flush. So right now the market's trying to like you know whipsaw everyone. So it likes to go from, everyone's thinking, oh, Tesla's gonna go up. It just goes straight to fear right away, super quick. So if you have profit and you're at resistance, just sell. That's what biggest advice I would give you guys. Nvidia, this one's looking bullish compared to the sector. This daily, 1 hour uptrend needs to confirm tomorrow over 248. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys. We're gonna look out for this tightening range on QQQ, right? Tightening range most likely gonna happen here, at least for this month, something like this. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for, guys. All right, hope you guys liked the video, and try to make another video either tomorrow or sometime later this week to see where we're at, and hopefully give you guys some help or some insight as to where we're going. Yeah, I think we're just going to stay in this tightening range unless we get some crazy scenario with the interest rates or with Ukraine. I don't think we're breaking this uh, weekly thing that we're holding here, holding these higher lows. And yeah, pretty much I think we're going to stay in this range, guys. Might be a little choppy if you're if you can't decide, if you can't figure out what's going on. I would say just don't trade. Maybe zoom out a couple time frames and try to figure out what's going on. And if you can't figure out what's going on, then best not to trade during this time because it's a little choppy. And it could definitely go from, we're going on an uptrend here. Last week we were looking for this uptrend to continue, and we just pretty much flushed the market. So can definitely be scary if you're a newer trader. And yeah, guys, hopefully good luck tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the next video.